credit and how we can diversify our credit and how we can utilize credit to have additional access to our own funds, right? Without giving up your own liquid income. And what can actually boost your credit a good 30 to 50 points with just doing this one thing. Credit does affect our lifestyle, so it is important, although I don't think you should be superiorly dependent on credit, right? We are stagnant. Not that we have extremely bad credit, not good credit, but the credit is just at a standstill, not really moving, and you feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. You're paying your bills on time, and what I see most people get very, very anal retentive about is paying their debt. And if you're not careful, paying your debt can make your credit be worse than where you started. And particularly, paying off debts that's over 2 years old is not productive at all. It actually will worsen your credit score, and it will decrease the monies that you have access to, right? At the end goal is to have more access to capital. That's why credit wasn't really invented for that, but if you're smart, you're going to use credit in a way to where you have more access to your capital and where the money that you work for is actually working for you. If you're smart, this is the way that you would actually utilize credit. Credit was created to keep people behind the curve, keep them dependent by borrowing from a lender. So let's outsmart the system, right? I'm all about outsmarting the system. My first time utilizing other people's money was when I was in college, and I took a $10,000 subsidized student loan to start my own business in my mid-20s. I took $10,000 and made $120,000 in 12 months time period from opening up my own business. I also had the mindset to say, well, if this loan has a 2.5 interest, then I could take a portion of this money. And at this time, I only knew about CDs being raised in my household. We didn't talk about investing. We didn't talk about stocks. We didn't talk about bonds. We didn't talk about property investments. But in a black household, everybody knows about a CD, or sometimes what they call like a money market. Back in early 2000s, money markets was earning an average of 5%. You won't see that rate right now. But my whole thought process was, okay, if I got this money, they charging me this interest, but if I take this money I borrowed and set it over here, I'm going to make more money on it than they're making on me. So just retraining our thought pattern when it comes to money, right? Always going to be dependent on robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? If you agree, go ahead and make a comment, hit the like button, show me some type of interaction because I love interacting. So if you've been paying bills on time, if you're hyper focused on paying off your debt, and you've been doing all the right things, so you feel, and your credit is still like just stagnant, it's like it just been plateaued, it's on a super slow hill going up, and you're like, dang, I need this thing to move faster. I need something within the next 30, 60, 90 days because it's something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get somewhere. If you're like me, I'm always trying to get somewhere, always trying to get to the next stage in life. I'm always trying to trade out my old problems for new problems because you're always going to have some problems. So I don't want to be stuck with the old problems for too long. Give me some new ones. Let me trade it out. All right, here you go. If you're in a situation to where you have bad credit and no money, that's a horrible situation to be in. That's the hardest thing to get out of, like being in both of those situations, right? But if you have credit where it's not that great, but you got money, it's much more easier to go ahead and not fix it, but develop a strategy to where you don't have to fix anything. It just is. I was in a situation when I was younger to where I never had to fix my credit. I went from not having credit to having superb credit. So everybody is not in a situation where they need to fix, right? This strategy is not about fixing. It's about a lifestyle of having good credit, good cash flow, and having access to money, right? Because in an event of emergencies, a lot of places, like when it comes to your health is wealth, there's a lot of great places, they don't take health insurance. They take cash, right? Some of the best cancer centers only accepts cash. So here we are. 30% of your credit is about paying stuff on time, right? We got 10 that's about, okay, how much assets do you have? Like how much credit are you not utilizing, right? Showing like, yeah, I got this amount I could be using, but I'm keeping it, under 30%. I'm not maxing out. That's a great thing too. But a lot of people fail on diversifying their credit. So if you've just been having the same little stupid mortgage for the longest, that's all you really been paying on. You get a car note, that's all you really pay on. The how the game works is just looking for diversity. Like, what else do you do? What other type of business do you get into? Is anybody trying to let you borrow money? Is there any other type of loans on there? So it's another percentage of good credit is diversification. And one thing I know that will help you, one, keep your liquid capital and give you an immediate boost in your credit. And if you have a large debt that you want to pay on, that's less than 2 years old, and you want to pay that debt off, this thing will hit 3 times, right? It will diversify your credit, which is a huge credit boost, pay off the debt, and also not take away your access to your own capital. Because guess what? When you pay off debt, you don't get that money back. That money's just gone. If you're going to pay $2,000 on something that you owe, you're not going to see that money again. It's just done. It's just like paying additional money to your mortgage principal. Once you send that money off, it's gone. You're not going to see that again. That's why our company advises to create a build your own bank. Instead of paying additional money to the principal with the bank, you could pay that money to yourself. That way you're diversifying your income strategy for later on, and you get to see that money again. So back on topic, here we go. Doing this strategy is going to do those 3 things for you, right? So doing something called a secured debt loan. It's secured by your own money. Don't have to get a credit check to do a secured loan, right? And it's secured by your own money. But it's the thing, every time you pay that loan back, they're going to give you your money back. Not only that, the money that you put over there is also earning interest as well. And normally within 30 days, when this new loan reports, it's like, oh wow, somebody let her borrow $2,000. We've never seen this type of loan before. Listen, I'm using my if your credit report can talk, this is what it's going to say, right? It's going to be like, oh wow, she has a new type of debt. We've never seen this type of debt before. So you mean to tell me that Navy Federal let her borrow $2,000, okay, on a personal loan? But people don't really give out no personal loans. It's not an easy thing to get. They let you get credit all day, but they don't give you cash. So this is you utilizing a cash method to, one, give yourself a boost in credit up to 50 points. Normally it's between 25 to 50 points. So if you're right at that 650, you can have a 700 credit score within 30 to 60 days by using this method. So if you're planning on making a big purchase, that's a home purchase, any type of major purchases, that difference in the credit score is major when it comes to an interest rate. It's major if you're paying car insurance. It puts you in another type of ballpark. So it just affects a lot of different things when it comes to your value and what companies are looking at when it comes to charging you certain rates. So if you have any questions about that method I just discussed, go ahead and drop them below. Another reminder is April 15th is coming up. That is the tax deadline. But not only that, it is the deadline to contribute to your own IRA. So if you qualify for a Roth IRA, hopefully you've been contributing all throughout the year. Contributors, if you're self-employed, if you're a small business owner, you get a tax credit, which means they take a portion of your self-employment tax that you owe, and they will give you a credit saying you don't have to pay this portion because you have been investing in yourself, and we like that. That's the IRS voice. That's what they say. We like what you're doing. So it's the last April 15th is the last day that you can contribute for 2024, right? So if you need to open one, our agency does that. If you need to make a rollover, I mean you have one already set up, you know what you say, Shalita, I want to know, what do you guys offer? What type of indexes do you have? I like to invest in the S&P 500. I like to be inside BlackRock. I heard it's been earning an average of 10% over the last decade. Like, how can I start investing in that? Well, our agency does that, right? And so all of these things are going to help you create more liquid capital where you can invest in your future, right? Because one thing about it, when you pay off the debt, yeah, it's great. You know, you created a debt free, but have you created financial freedom? There's a difference. Debt free and financial freedom, they are not hand in hand. There is work you have to put in to become financially free. That's time freedom and financial freedom. So determining those different things, you have to identify what that is for you. What does that look like for you? So if you have any questions, Jonathan?